And now, the host of Zero Hit Points, Ryan Miller!
Welcome to Zero Hit Points.
Continue.
It's December 20th.
Yep.
No big deal.
No big. Couple days.
I'm Ryan Miller. And we've just been sitting here the whole time. It's Matt Amberg.
It's embarrassing how when we try to communicate and messages don't go through in any direction, and then we just end up sitting here going, hey, I wonder if we're going to record a podcast today or not.
You're like, I can go 30 minutes early. 45 minutes later, I'm like, man, he must be late today. I don't know, it's my watch. I have a thing against my skin at all times to tell me when electronics are happening, and it didn't work.
It's terrifies me. I feel like you have you probably have one of those like an EKG on your there's a little thing that's always writing on your arm.
It will tell me my heartbeat if I make it, but I think I turn that off because I'm dead inside. Look at us pretending like we haven't seen The Last Jedi, just pretending like everything's normal, like we're maybe not even going to talk about it.
Yeah, let's just jump into it. Let's just go.
Who knew?
The Last Jedi. We both see it. We both seen it.
But we did. I
seen it on my birthday. I went and saw it on my birthday.
Happy birthday, maybe.
Thanks.
I guess we'll find out.
It was not a great day, but
before we get, I mean, you've spoiled it already, but let's
go ahead and put this out there. This is going to be spoiler heavy. I think we're going to probably talk about how all of it goes down. So
we might have to.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear about it, then don't listen to the show today until later.
If I don't want to hear about it yet.
Well, listen to us then and then decide to be angry with us later.
Do I sound like I'm sick?
You look like you're a little ill.
Okay, fair enough. I feel better than I did yesterday, but I still sound like I feel like I sound.
Mm-hmm. And you look like you sound as you feel like you did.
Okay. So Last Jedi.
There's a Jedi.
Where do we begin?
He's the last one. And she's
the last one.
Well, now she is. See, we're right into it. It's all over now. Luke dies. Let's get it over with. Luke's dead. He's dead. Going into in movie number 8, it's or 9 or 10, whatever. Luke's dead. Okay.
That's where you want to start?
All right, let's go just right off the bat. Did you like it? Did you hate it?
I liked it.
Okay.
It's a huge qualified like, but yeah, I'm not saying I loved it either.
Right. Okay.
But I liked it.
I liked it. It was meh. I liked it. It was but I didn't hate it. That's for sure. I didn't hate it. I did not love it at all. And this is one I absolutely I am putting an asterisk next to everything I say here, because both Beth and I think we actually want to go see it in the theater again, which is something we don't tend to do.
I'm going to see it on Thursday
because I walked out of that theater and the first thing I said to Beth which is actually what I tweeted, was that movie just made me sad, but not for all the reasons you'd think.
Only some of the reasons you'd think.
Yeah, no, I mean, there were definite, absolutely, Carrie Fisher, that was just, it was heartbreaking. The minute you see her on screen was like, and she's like right away, you get her within the first.
She's a big part of this movie. A bigger part than, she's also sidelined a little bit like she was in Force Awakens, but she's a bigger part of this movie than she was of The Force Awakens, I believe.
Right, and then this all stands to reason because Kathleen Kennedy has said that they had intended on her being a huge part of the next movie, and now they've said that they're not. They said they won't CGI her, so she's
heard
gone.
That. Thank goodness,
yeah. So I there were certain things that were sad. There were other things that I think we'll get into here. So
we very well may.
All right, so God, I don't even know where to start with it. I mean, I guess
let's keep going with the Carrie Fisher stuff.
True.
I loved all the tributes. I've heard complaints about the part where she gets blown out into space.
Yeah. So early on in the movie, so let's hit this out. So early on in the movie,
early on, maybe because the movie's too long, number one.
Sure, yeah. So,
but it's still over 40 minutes.
First quarter of the movie, I think this is when this kind of happens, is and you've seen, if you've seen the trailers, it's that shot of where they show her and then they show Kylo Ren and he's looking at her on the bridge of the ship and he's in his TIE fighter, and will he, won't he, and he doesn't. He's not the one that ends up shooting the ship. It's he
cannot shoot Mom.
He won't shoot Mom, so his TIE bomber ship buddies end up doing it. The Goose and Iceman, whatever. So they end up doing it, and in the process, no, this is just one of the things that bugged me. Admiral Akbar dead. Nothing. You get a blip of the mention that he's dead at the end of the movie. Didn't even realize.
Word of the day, ignominious.
Yeah, ignominious. Good word. But in the process of this, Leia is also blown out into the space. And here's one of the things that's kind of like, I'm good with how this works out. It's fine. It is what it is. Leia is frozen in space, or very, very, she's got ice on her. She uses the Force and pulls herself back to the safety of the ship. And then she's saved by Poe and some of the other rebels.
But incapacitated for the remainder of the movie.
For almost, for 98% of it. I'm good with the Force thing. That's fine. She's always been Force sensitive. That was alluded to in Jedi. It was alluded to in Empire as well.
Even if it's not alluded to,
she's a Skywalker.
It stands to reason. Yeah, exactly.
It stands to reason. I'm totally cool with that. It is kind of
one
of those.
He is our only hope. No, there is another.
Right. It is one of those funny things that they never they haven't addressed. They didn't address it in The Force Awakens at all, that she still kind of has that, and that she clearly has been practicing, which is something that is an EU thing, that like known quantity in the EU, that she has practiced. She's still not a Jedi. She'll never be a Jedi, but she has Force sensitivity. So
right.
Okay, so continue on with the Carrie Fisher.
Well, no, and actually, that's something I've been waiting for. Like that's been on the list. Like I can't wait until Leia uses the Force somehow, right? Like maybe this was left field. Maybe somebody would have liked to have seen it manifested in a different way. Sure, I guess, but I thought the way it was done was pretty cool. And it toys with, a lot of it toys with, again, we're going to go back to this, I think, repeatedly, with expectations. Mm-hmm. Because you know Carrie Fisher's passed away. So the second that happens, you're like, oh shoot, is this how they get her out? Like this is how she exit the franchise? Like this almost like, I don't know. And then, twitch,
right.
she floats back. So it's very much flies in the face of a lot of stuff, including expectations outside of even the narrative or the universe. Or
and
whatever.
the other thing that actually effectively does though is it entrenches the idea that you don't have to be a Jedi or on that path, which is, I think, in The Force Awakens, the ultimate idea that I think most people walk away with is Rey is going to go to the path of the Jedi. That's the goal, right? She's got to find Luke to become a Jedi.
Right.
So this gives you the little bit of, okay, you don't have to be a Jedi to have the Force, which then also gives you a little bit maybe towards the end with the kid in the broom. And we'll kind of talk about that little tiny itty bitty stingy thingy.
Maybe,
but it gives you, and also actually the Knights of Ren. You get or the, I guess they're not the Knights of Ren necessarily, but the Imperial Guards that Kylo and
are those the other?
I don't know.
Snoke mentions them, but they don't go into. Yeah, I just kind of thought those were his.
They're very clearly supposed to be Force sensitive.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it helps add to that.
Are they?
They're supposed to be. So all the Red Guards, every Red Guard is technically in the canon of Star Wars supposed to be a somewhat Force sensitive.
It would make sense.
That's why they're the elite.
It's certainly not
guards.
Addressed here. I guess.
Probably.
No, yeah.
I don't remember. I don't. It's whatever.
Whatever. Maybe we get deeper into how the Force is used throughout this entire movie then, because that does get into coming from Leia and how she used it. There's kind of new techniques or things introduced.
Yeah.
There's a theme throughout where there's kind of a telekinetic thing to the Force here where Rey and Kylo are communicating basically in the same room. Like they mentioned that they can only see each other some of the times, and neither one of them seems to understand why it's happening.
Right.
Luke, I think, gets hints of it, but Rey never comes out and tells him that it's happening. So it's kind of a question mark. But at the end, it's I guess it's not the Deus Ex because it is led up to like that, but it is used wherein Luke manifests himself at the final battle and uses that to distract the First Order and Kylo Ren while the rebels escape, and then he disappears, goes back, and we find out that he's just been projecting himself from that island of his into this battle, and I guess now we're back into the death of Luke or whatever, but then he just fades away and his robe falls to the ground like Obi-Wan's did,
Right. It's I mean, obviously he's going to be a Force ghost. We know that.
So did you have any issues with the way the Force was used in the movie?
No. The Force projection thing, as soon as he showed up at the end, like the minute he walks in and he pulls the hood down and he had... So earlier in the movie, they do a flashback because Kylo Ren tries to get Rey to think that Luke was going to just murder him in cold blood. Luke then gives the full story that he had a moment of weakness where he thought about it, then he didn't. He knew it was the wrong thing to do, and that it would be that he would be a failure at that point, more so. And in the flashback, Luke is a little bit younger. He's got shorter hair. His beard's a little... He's more taken care of.
You're right, and man. I should have caught that.
The minute he shows up at the end to talk to Leia, which...
What? You didn't like that?
No, I liked that. I was bummed out that that's it. Like, that was all that was the reunion between Luke and Leia is a 3-second thing where Luke basically says, I failed you. I failed Kylo. And Leia saying, I lost my son a long time ago. And it was a great moment. It was just like...
It was brief.
It was too fleeting. And that's probably at this point more... just because Carrie's gone, that we'll never get more. That's it. That's the last time. I'm curious
if there just was like that. That's all that was written. Like, of course, if they would have known, she was going to pass away, maybe they would have done something a little bit more.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to ruin Force Awakens for everybody too now, but I'm still bummed that we never got the Han Solo, and I'm happy that Solo died. Actually, I thought that was cool.
He needed to.
Fine.
He needed to.
But I'm still bummed we never got a Luke Solo moment. Like,
right.
I would have loved to have seen that. We get that here, but it's quick.
But yeah,
I just feel like they didn't know, obviously, that they would have wanted to have more. But
it was in that moment when he looks like he did in the flashback. I went, oh, okay, he's projecting himself. He's not there.
I didn't get that, man. I noticed he was different, and I just thought that
it's cleanup time. It's time to go
sloppy or something or.
No, yeah. So that was it was the grand assumption, which ends up being the case. And at no point does Luke interact with anybody other than handing Leia. He drops a thing into Leia's hands. The
dice from the Falcon,
dice necklace, or the whatever it was. And then, but he never. I don't think he hugs her. I don't think they touch. He walks.
They do. They hold hands. There's a close-up on the hands touching, and then that's when he gives the line that nobody's really gone after they die, or whatever it is, which was my favorite tribute to Carrie Fisher.
Right, and that was, yeah. But yeah, how that was used, totally fine with it. I think I kind of am, and I wonder if this is like one of the things that Hamill was questioning early on. I don't like that just kills him. Like, I use so much effort to do this. I'm drained and dead.
100%.
Like, that is, to me, that was the worst way for Luke to go. Like, I would rather have him died to Kylo at that point, which would have been an awful way.
Yeah, I was expecting it, and totally. Like Kylo, cuts him down and his robes just fall to the floor like Obi-Wan. That would have been the homage I loved. Totally. Absolutely.
And I'll be honest, I would not have loved that. That would have actually probably irritated me more.
Really?
Because it's one of those things where you're basically just, you are doing the exact thing that Obi-Wan did. And there is reason for Hamill to do it, or for Luke to do it. He knows that he can go further beyond and he can help Rey at that point in a very different way. But again, it was, I don't know, man, like killing Luke that way was I think, it was really weak, and it was a really, really just like, I guess I did like at the end. I like that at his death, he sees I assume anyways, it's a vision of the rising suns on Tatooine, because he sees the second sun coming up. And I kind of assumed that was him, like him kind of like, I'm going home, quote, kind of thing. But
well, because we don't, I mean, again, that though, it's the way it was done. We don't have, it seems, any problem with the fact that Luke is gone or died in this film. You know, we might have actually talked about it earlier, that we would be kind of bummed that it's like every movie they just kill off one more of the old guard,
right? Which
like
is,
that.
And we'll get to that, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just the way that he kind of it's almost an afterthought, like beautiful touches aside, because the fact that he brings those dice and he gives them to her, and then he goes and does his things, and then after he disappears, they add that scene where then the dice then disappear.
Right. And that was,
which to me seemed like, oh man, we forgot about this. We better put that in there too, because those dice can't be real if he wasn't real.
Right.
Like, why wasn't he just real then, man? Like, he could have. Yeah.
Okay, so you and I are both in agreement on that, which I didn't want Luke to die. I still think that this could have gone a different direction with him living and not. We don't have to kill every single person that was in the original films, but I guess we do.
And I think Hamill freaking nailed it. Like, I was a little concerned about his performance. I mean, and Carrie Fisher's been amazing to watch, but she's not at the top of her game necessarily as far as that goes. I was kind of wondering if Hamill was going to be the same thing. And yeah, he's not like a virtuoso or anything, but man, I thought his performance was super enjoyable, super good. Thought
he was great, and this will actually lead me to something that I was not a huge fan of. I did not love the constant humor, and that style of humor. I didn't like it at all.
The large majority of it did not land with me.
Not even a little bit. And like
the porgs.
It's an Ewok. That's all they're doing. How can I sell it? That's what it was. Period.
Dude, it's worse.
And we knew it. And you knew
it's worse.
You knew it going in, especially that they're useless. They're nothing. They don't even like, because the Ewoks,
which is why they're worse, and
had a purpose. You know, Ewoks were useful. The Porgs are just there. They're just in the way.
And the stuff with them seemed really heavy-handed to me. Like, there's that part where Chewbacca's eating one or trying to eat one, and then it's like 2 close-up shots on the Porg just doing literally the thing that Puss in Boots does from. Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. That's a little, like, it didn't, and beyond that one, just kind of not, I don't think, being great. Like, yeah, it's humor, and for some reason, most of the humor just didn't land with me like it did in Force Awakens. And like, I burst out laughing when BB-8 like did the little thumbs up with his flamethrower.
Yeah, and that
laughed out loud.
That was totally one of those things where I went, it's.
They see, okay, well,
but fine, it, yeah. but fine. I'm not crapping on all the humor. It's fine to have it. The humor that was written into this did not work for me at all. Like, and it's things like Beth and I talked about this.
I smiled. I didn't laugh.
That whole thing with Poe and Hux at the beginning, that's really great in any other movie that isn't this. Like, I don't want to hear that. That doesn't fit Star Wars to me personally. That whole, like, I'm trying to talk to Admiral Hux, and they, I'm Hux. Right. Aren't you cute? Can't you hear me? Like, really?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, basically.
The one bit of humor that I did, that really did land for me, though, happened to be Hamill with the one bit with Rey when he's trying to get her to use the Force, and he says reach out, and she literally does, and then he uses like the fern to tickle her, because that's something Yoda would have done. And think about how Yoda teases him at the beginning when you first meet Yoda. How he's like, oh, I'm not Yoda, and he's just screwing with him.
No, yeah, that's palatable, but also it kind of didn't. I don't know, man. I walked out thinking maybe I was just having a bad day. Like, where you see something, like I can watch an episode of my favorite TV show and I don't laugh as hard as I usually do. Maybe it's just me.
And that scene, that was the extent where I was like, okay, it's funny in that one little respect, because I can kind of see a little bit of crazy hermit Luke. He's a little kookier than normal, and he's doing a little bit of a Yoda thing. Okay, I'll give that. But everything else was just, it failed for me, and I didn't like
humor, not the strong point. No.
One of the other things that I actually was not a huge fan of was Admiral Holdo. Love her.
Admiral Holdo.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Laura Dern?
Laura Dern. Love Laura Dern. Love the idea of the character. Hate the use of the character. That entire,
Really?
actually, the entire. So this goes into some of the plot things. So the first thing I'll say is, out of every Star Wars movie, this has more fat on it, which you mentioned, that it's way more fatty than any other Star Wars movie. There is a lot of stuff that should have been trimmed.
It's too long. Didn't need to be that long. I mean, there's always an aspect to being in the universe, and you know, this is what got me by on the prequels. Like, it's still Star Wars.
Right.
Like, it's still fun, but
that's not working for me anymore.
It's just too long here. Yeah, no,
so the Laura,
something tighter would have been nicer.
The Laura Dern character, the entire purpose of her character is to teach Poe a lesson. And
well, she's Leia's replacement. Like, this is after Leia's taken out,
right? Except because, again, we're going into spoilers. So she's dead. She kills herself at the end of the movie in a heroic fashion. How she kills herself and stops the First Order, and like, it's rad. It was brilliant, and I was super excited to see them use that. She basically jumps to hyperspace into them, which they tell you,
slices the dreadnought in two, and takes out a fleet.
But everything that occurs, all of the deaths that occur because of Poe outside of the very beginning, when they're trying to destroy the dreadnought. Like, all of that could have been avoided if they just opened their mouths and said, here's what the plan is. All you got to do is tell Poe. Then Poe doesn't do stupid things, which then leads to the entirely, as I like Finn, I like Rose. I think those two are great. They're fun characters together. That whole subplot was totally useless.
Yeah.
All of it, everything. The Benicio del Toro character, totally useless to me. Like, why are you there?
I got one change that makes all of it make sense.
Hit me.
For how long, when you found out that their subplot was to go to this casino and find this master hacker, you know, they talked to, what's her name, Maz, I think?
Yeah.
The girl from the Mos Eisley ripoff in Force Awakens.
Lupita Nyong'o, I think.
And she tells them to go find this hacker in this casino, and makes allusions to him being a ladies' man, and, you know, has a red flower, you know, all this kind of intrigue stuff. For how long did you think that was going to be Lando?
Oh man, no! It sounds perfectly like Lando. It
must have been Lando. They just couldn't get Billy D to do it or something. I don't know.
All I know is that I knew he wasn't in the movie because Billy D had said it.
He's said often that he's not coming back,
and he said he wasn't in that. So I knew it was going to end up being DJ, who's Benicio del Toro's character, and like
he does a fine job, gives us a character. But again, imagine they get there and it's Billy D.
Well, imagine that entire subplot isn't stupid and useless. Like, that's the problem with that whole plot. It's dumb and pointless, and it happens because of dumb and pointless things. Why not tell Poe the actual plan? We want to teach Poe a lesson. Okay, go ahead and do whatever you're going to do, and then Poe sends them off. They volunteer to go, Rose and Finn, of their own volition, because they know they can do this together, which, you know, it's like, here, okay, we're gonna set up that ultimate cool battle between Boba Fett and Han Solo, and it's the same battle. Hey, cool, Finn and Captain Phasma. 2 seconds later, Phasma's dead in a pit, just like Boba Fett. Wait, you know, everybody was saying, man, they're gonna turn Phasma into Boba Fett after that first movie when she did nothing, got tossed in a garbage chute. Like, you take an awesome idea for a character, a great, like, wonderful woman, fantastic, like, idea for this character, and you wasted it on that, and all for nothing, because the whole Canto Blight, whatever the place is called, the casino world, which could have been really novel and like a super poshy version of Mos Eisley, doesn't turn into that. It turns into an idiot caper film for like the entire time they're there, when they have a super minimal amount of time to get there, find the guy, get back, all like as fast as they can before the entire rebellion is destroyed, and it's the Keystone Cops.
The timeline, we will probably come back to that.
So stupid. That entire, like, again, I like Rose. I like Finn.
Yeah, and I don't want to blow past Poe too much, because actually, again, a lot of this is in the execution, but I actually did like Poe's arc. Like, he's kind of a known quantity that doesn't do much in The Force Awakens. He's already an ace pilot. He's already a rebel hero.
Right.
So he's basically Luke at the end of the movies. So what do you do with him? Well, in this movie, he's kind of a loose cannon, it turns out. And yes, much of that could have been fixed with just giving him the information most of the time. But at one point, Leia demotes him. I still like the arc that they've given to him, like that part of the development of his character.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the execution.
And I like Laura Dern too. And I like all of his relationship, like his adversarial relationship with Leia, and then with Laura Dern, who's, like I said, very much the replacement for Leia, both in the movie and yeah.
No, I agree with you. It was just executed poorly to me, and I think you mentioned it, and it's kind of an overarching theme here. It is throughout The Force Awakens and into this movie, it is very clearly, they talk about growing up. It's literally a coming of age tale, again. Right. It's about loss. It's about understanding loss. It's about moving past loss. And it's about making mistakes and how you handle them. Like that's a significant theme throughout, is how you deal with mistakes that are made. And that's fine. You want to do that with Poe. Poe, great character. I like Oscar Isaac a lot. I like that character. I like his arc, like you said. Man, that was such a bummer of a way to try and move him along. I didn't dig it.
So this is where I think stuff gets interesting though, right? Because yeah, honestly, after that movie, the first thing I remember being surprised with how much I didn't love it.
Right.
Actually, especially hearing all the stuff I had heard about it so far from some avenues, like, oh man, like stuff.
The Second Empire, that was something that I kept hearing.
Totally. Yeah, all that. So I get home though, and you have time to think about it.
Yeah.
And
you ruminate.
You look up stuff online too. Sure, you want to be part of the conversation or figure it out, or bounce things. I mean, or you just want to feel like you're not crazy. Like, what did I miss? Like, right, exactly. And then, yeah, it kind of dawns on me, and this is probably why we're going to go back and see it, because for all of its lack of execution, for all of the kind of fudging that it did, like there's timeline issues, there's stuff that kind of little niggles. Mm-hmm. You realize that they did turn everything on its head. And it's weird to say that after the fact, like for me anyways, let's just say, once I got that, I was like, shoot, I do have to see it again. And man, that might be my favorite part of the whole movie now.
Sure.
Is that, yeah, Rey's parents are garbage traders or whatever. Doesn't matter. The bad guy,
Snoke,
isn't Snoke.
Right.
It's Kylo Ren. And of that same token, he's not going to get redeemed. Like, they closed the door on that quite literally.
Yeah. See, I actually, I don't know that I agree with that.
No, he's not. He's not.
I don't know that I agree with it.
Okay. Well,
because
if he does,
I'll tell you why. Okay. Continue your thought, and then I'll.
When I say they literally closed the door on him, because a lot of the movie is about there being good in him, trying to turn him. But then there's that point at the end where he kills Snoke, and then maybe the best action scene of the entire movie is him, Kylo Ren and Rey fighting back to back against the Imperial Guard.
Yep.
That's super cool.
How he kills Snoke, by the way, was very cool. Like, I was yes. that was a great moment. Like not only like
because he can read Kylo Ren's mind, so Kylo's got to do something that to Snoke, upon reading, sounds like he's going to cut down Rey.
Right, and he makes it sound like he's gonna he makes all the moves and thought process or whatever that he's gonna kill one of the people in the room, and that it's clearly going to be Rey. And as he's doing it, he's turning the lightsaber that Snoke took from Rey to its side, and then he bisects.
Yeah,
like he just right in half.
And then that's it. And then it goes off. Like, but then at the end of that fight, Rey's like, okay, you did it, you turned. Which probably, I mean, I was thinking that. Most of the audience is probably thinking that too. Kylo did it, he turned. And then Kylo says, join me, and we can rule, or whatever. Like he hadn't actually turned. This was just his coup.
Right.
He finally got out from underneath Snoke's hand or thumb, just foot, any appendage.
We don't really know. He could have a tail under there. We're not sure.
It's not explained in the movie. It's one of the big cliffhangers.
It's actually a big question right now. What is Snoke's tail or feet?
But they do. They realize that he's not turned then, but then also for any of the other small chances he given then, like it's symbolic, but they close the door of the spaceship on him while they're going. Like he's gone. if he does get redeemed, it's not going to be by way of the rebellion. The rebellion has turned their back on him. They're going to fight him in full force now. He's the enemy, period.
I think his redemption will come from, and I'm being legitimate here. I think it's either going to be it's going to be one of those dawning self-realizations into a self-sacrifice thing. Or other. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's going to kill himself at the end of the series, so that Rey doesn't have to do it. Nobody else will have to do it, and he's going to realize I can destroy everything and fix everything, and he's going to become a Force ghost just like Luke and stand next to him at the end, and that's going to.
Do we know who gets the third movie?
I don't know. I think they,
because it would be stupid, man. I would be disappointed if that happened.
It's not. I know it's not Rian Johnson though, or.
Okay, well, if it was Rian Johnson, I would say, yeah, you're not getting that in any respect. But yeah, who knows? Maybe who they give the third one to, they go more traditional. But again, that would fly in the face of why I ended up my favorite part of The Last Jedi now is that they did turn all this stuff on its head. Like, I have no idea. Speaking of the third movie, where the third movie is going to go, what they're going to do.
JJ is directing it. It looks like.
Oh well, okay, man. There's a question then.
So okay. So now we're getting into some of the. So I have also sat for the past few days and thought about it, and I've talked to Beth about it, and yeah, I know I totally popped online and read what people think about it, and I think that ultimately the conclusion that I come to is, and this movie solidified it pretty heavily for me, I think, and this is why I want to go back and see it again. This is my reasoning for seeing it again.
Okay.
I don't care about the characters, and that's what makes me sad. Is about the Star Wars movie is that it's a Star Wars movie, and I don't care about Rey. I don't care about Finn. I don't really care about Poe all that much. I like all the
new characters, right?
I like them. I think they're fun characters. I don't care about them the way I cared about. The original trilogy. Stands to reason. I grew up with the original trilogy. That's my thing. I liked the prequels more than I probably should have, but I also grew up with them too. Like that was the new to me, I guess.
When Star Wars came back the first time.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is it's the movies are fine. The movie was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't love The Force Awakens either. We diverged on that one pretty heavily.
It was a thing in this world that you disliked more than me.
Yes. Which shockingly is most everything I think in this world. But I don't think on some, these movies are not made for me anymore. And that's fine. They're made for somebody else, and that's cool. I'm good with it. I'm really happy that the people that are loving this movie are totally loving it. It's got characters to love. It's got characters you want to love. I want to love these characters. I just don't. I don't find the affinity with any of them. Poe is probably the one that I'm most interested in. But then this movie, it tanks all of it. Again, I like the arc, but the execution was so bad that it's I don't care now. I just don't care. Yeah. And that, that's hard for me. It's hard. And it's hard for me to, it was hard for me to come to grips with the fact that maybe Star Wars, I'm kind of over or past it.
Dude, I get some of that. You're just, and you can't be expected really to love it.
No,
you're only a kid once, man. That's, some of that is unavoidable. And also, I would say the new characters aren't as good as the old ones. Maybe if we get, a little analytical, we could say these are the reasons that you fell in love with Luke. These are the reasons that Han Solo, which I guess he's not in this, so whatever. But yeah, the new characters they've created for this one don't quite do the job like the old ones did. Maybe even if nostalgia wasn't a factor. But this is where I think the fact that they turn this all on its head kind of redeems it. It's like freaking Papers, Please, man. That's not a fun game to play. Like, you don't come away from that going like, oh man, like that
I just had the best time.
Right, yeah. You should have seen me deny things to people. But but it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into that analogy, but it's something that needs to happen. Games like that need to happen in games if the medium's going to progress and evolve. Like, if Star Wars is going to progress, this movie needed to happen, even if it's not my favorite movie. You know, even if, again, and there's almost two different things competing here. There's the length, there's the side stories, there's the digressions, you know, there's this is Star Wars, you can still have fun with it stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's not the worst stuff, but the harder stuff is what the franchise needs. Like this, it needed to be beat up like this. It needed to go through something like this if we want, and again, this is JJ, man, now, yeah, I don't know. If we want the transcendent, if we want the new Star Wars by the third movie. And yeah, I mean, if the fact that the characters aren't doing it might make that an even harder sell for you. But
yeah,
as far as the universe goes, again, like I'm maybe more excited than I have been because I have no freaking idea. I have no idea.
And you know, no, I love, again, I go back to, I love the idea of all of the stuff. I do. I think it's great. Like, I really, really want to love it. But I also recognize that the Star Wars universe that maybe I want to see is not the one that's being portrayed. And so my interest is just not there. And that's like, I'm talking about whatever's next. It's not just these characters. They're like, Rian Johnson's got a trilogy after this. His entire pitch for that trilogy, by the way, from his mouth essentially was, I want to do something different and bigger in the Star Wars universe because there's so much to explore. We've got different planets, different people, different creatures. Why don't we do that? That's basically the pitch.
He wants to make good movies that happen to take place in the Star Wars universe.
And that's cool. Like that's neat. I could possibly get into that. It really, really, truly depends on what they are.
I've loved freaking Rogue One, and
like,
that was
I liked
that.
I loved Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was great. Rogue One also kind of kept in line with what I was looking for. It didn't quite have like, and that's I guess a big difference here is like if I compare just the style of those movies, like that's a great little tale that's you know it's a war movie. It's the Dirty Dozen, you know, but in Star Wars. Cool.
Right.
I'm into that. That's fine. Part of, but I'm not like, I'm still not overly excited for the after that. Like that leads into all this stuff. And even though those characters exist in like, like they're new characters, they exist in an original trilogy timeline. And that's novel to me in some way, but like, I don't.
No, man. In fact, Rogue One's kind of a great point because I think we loved those characters more than we love Finn or
totally true. I loved Jyn way more than I love Rey.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and that's probably, you know what? It's probably born out of just doing that one-off story, man. Like not having to do a trilogy, not having to, which there's art in both, obviously, like creating the universe here, creating the trilogy. It's Star Wars is maybe not the place to do that in a way for, again, something that we're looking for. But yeah, give them the opportunity to make a one-off and you're kind of just more happy with it. Like kill everybody at the end. Maybe that's a solution.
Yeah, no.
Just kill everybody.
Let them all die. I mean, if you're going to kill the original trilogy characters, might as well kill. Why not just kill the Star Wars universe? Like they all just explode. It's a galaxy, the galaxy Death Star. You know, like I don't know.
Star Wars.
Last Jedi. It was like I said, it was good. It was okay. I was disappointed.
You did say that.
I was disappointed ultimately with it.
Any other movie I might make this an extra hit points, but I feel like we got kind of a thin back half here, and we might be able just to keep going, keep do it all in one. What do you think? I don't know what games you've played actually.
We're gonna. That's actually I think going to be a longer discussion than you think it is.
What? Well, let's see. You've got 5 minutes.
Okay.
What games did you play, Matt? You don't really have 5 minutes.
I didn't play any games. I haven't played any games since we played Cuphead. And yeah, so this is something that I don't know. I have not had the interest. Like for the past week, I've had time. I could have sat down and I kind of looked at everything and I didn't want to play anything. I didn't want to pick up any games. I didn't want to. I like all the games that I actually am interested in, that I like, that I want to play. I don't want to play, and and it's not like, it's not just what I have. It's like, it's games that I thought about, like, are there games that are out that I do, like, I'm really interested in? No.
Man, Last Jedi really did a number on you.
Right, something happened, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm sick, but I this is here. Like, you know what? This is maybe something our show has been missing. We'll do some real talk about weird mental issues. Like, seriously,
no, just the prospect that our show has been missing mental issues. I don't know, but yes, let's go.
Ever since the Game Awards, like we hung out, we played in Cuphead. That was freaking cool. That was amazing. But like the Game Awards, I started just kind of, I don't know, something happened when I was watching the Game Awards where I was like, oh man, I don't know. Something happened. I don't know.
Game Awards did a number on you. Okay,
maybe. And then on top of that, The Last Jedi, it's just depression. I'm just in a cloud. No, I started thinking about things like I really, really enjoy Fortnite. I really enjoy the Battle Royale stuff. Okay. And coming to grips with things like, and Overwatch is actually the game that I keep going back to with this, because it is the best example I have of it. There are diminishing returns as you get older. Like, regardless of how much I put in the time, how much I practice, how much I play, I am getting older. My reflexes are lowering. Things that were possible at one point for me in a game may not be as possible now. And Overwatch, again, is the great equalizer, an example here, because skill shooter, something that I by all intents, but for all intents and purposes, I decent, not fantastic by any means, but I was always decent at those. And
and TF2 was your game, so this is your genre, this is your thing. Yeah.
So like I've seen that skill erode since the time of release. I was playing it heavily, and then I tried to get into the comp stuff, and I was still playing regularly, and I could just see like no matter how much time I was putting in, certain things are just not clicking for me anymore. Like the tactics, strategies, and then just reaction time. It's just not there.
Okay.
And so I started, this kind of goes back to, Fortnite is a great example. I really love Fortnite. I really love it. That game, the PvE, I love that aspect of it. I think it's really, really great. It's got a lot of issues, but I really like it. I love that concept.
Not even just talking about Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Right.
I really love the Battle Royale too. The Battle Royale, I absolutely really, really would love to get that solo win at some point, get the stupid umbrella. Like it's a stupid badge of honor, like that's what it is. It's the badge of honor. And the more I play it and the more I think about it, like I realize that the same issue that kind of occurs with Overwatch is happening with Fortnite in the Battle Royale sense. And it's definitely we're getting into the whole PvP thing. That's what we're talking about at this point.
Okay.
And my skills are just they're eroding. There's a multiple things that are I'm sure are feeding into it, but you kind of, sometimes, for me anyways, I get to a point where I start thinking about that and I get into this like loop, and it's the why bother playing it, because I'm not going to get what I'm like. My skills are not getting better. My tactics, I have to try and change my tactics, but that is also something that is not, that like I'm not picking them up quickly enough to be competitive in the way that I want to be. And I see it. Like I see it match after match. I see how I die. I know how I'm dying. And I know how it's coming. Like I can see it miles ahead that if it's not somebody sneaking up on me and it's going to be a 1v1 thing towards the end of the match, I know the 50 things that are going to collapse on me internally, externally, that are going to cause me to flop, like I'm going to get nervous. I'm going to press the wrong button. No, Ryan, where are you?
Right.
It's that.
Sure.
But I get into this like cycle of like, well, what the hell is the point in playing it? Because that's going to happen every time. I've tried for a long time to get over that. I can't get over that How do I get over that? Well, I don't know. What's the point in playing? Cycle.
It's bizarre how much this is what I wanted to talk about too.
And
keep going, but
so it starts to like just wear me down a little bit, and to the point where I've got single player games that I could play, but I don't want to. Like I don't. That's not what I want.
You talking about taking a break from games here? Sounds like you just want to.
Well, that's I'm doing that. I'm not just talking about it. I mean, I'm doing it, but
right.
But this is not like I'm not doing it.
It sounds like you want to continue doing it, or is this something more permanent? I mean, I take breaks, and it does oftentimes begin with something else that's happened that makes it so I can't play games for a while, and then I don't rush back to them afterwards for whatever reason. It's
right.
Natural selection. It selects a vacation from games for me.
So
sometimes
the last time this happened though, was, and I don't know if you remember this, I was almost a year, like 6 months, if not more, where I wasn't playing games. Like we played Borderlands for a whole bunch, and then I was gone. And then I moved to Colorado, and then I came back and we started playing Borderlands again. But we had there was a 6 months to almost a year where I just was hardly playing. I wasn't playing games almost at all.
Was not aware.
I was online here and there. We played
obviously
games.
I only know when you play Borderlands. That was the only game we were playing together. So yeah, I don't know. I guess.
Right. It's not that I'm purposely wanting to take a break from it. It's that I'm mentally stuck in a cycle of the games I want to play. I'm coming to grips with the fact that I'm not good at them. I'm legitimately just not good at them. And that's okay, but I still want to play them. And I want to be good at them. And the games that I have that are games that don't matter, like Zelda, it doesn't matter how good you are at Zelda. If you can play a Zelda game, even minutely, you can beat a Zelda game. Yeah, there's going to be challenges, sure, but it's not the same thing. That's something like I can go back and finish Zelda. I could go back and finish Mario Odyssey.
Games like that are made for you to get to the end.
Right. But
they want you to. They will help you to.
Yeah, exactly. And I like single player games. Single player story matters to me. All those things, I've talked about that. But that right now is not what I want. And the things that I want, I have a hard time wanting to do because I'm just it feels like a cycle of never ending failure. So why bother? So I didn't play any games, then. Ryan. What did you do?
No, we're going to keep this going, but we're going to keep it going with what I've been doing with Battlegrounds. I got PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which I guess I have to start calling PUBG at some point.
You can call it whatever you want.
It just doesn't seem like a better solution.
You can call it Brendan Green's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
There we go. Thank you.
It's more succinct.
What is that?
Rolls off the tongue.
What does that abbreviate to?
BG PUBG.
That's pretty good.
BG PUBG.
I might like that better. BG PUBG. So I did get that. I started playing it.
Get to 6th place immediately.
That was my first game, yes. But one kill, and again, I know that's a larger conversation of the game, what constitutes a good game or whatever. I don't care, honestly. 6th place is 6th place to me.
Yeah, no.
But this is where
whatever, the win is the win, baby.
I mean, this is where I think we come from two different worlds a lot of the times, is because you very much did. I mean, that is your bread and butter. That's your game. Team Fortress 2, the PvP, basically. Okay. PvP is something that's interested you for a long time and way more than it has ever interested me.
Definitely.
I definitely came into games with that. Halo was the first thing on my Mac. And then I think that was probably the first thing for a while. Halo 2, Halo 3, even maybe up till there, where I was very much concerned with getting my level up. And I think 42 was as high as I got. Because remember, the thing with playing Halo Online was that you could go up and down, and 50 was the top, but you could only get there, it averaged stuff out or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't Halo 3. Maybe that was just 2.
I remember they had, I don't remember which Halo it was. I remember that existed, that there was that weird ranking system.
I played a bunch of that. And yeah, that was fun to me at a time. I totally got into that. But then as stories became bigger and games kind of evolved to support those in better and more interesting ways, that's my bread and butter. PvP. And even then, I guess maybe attitude-wise, I never I never felt adversarial. Like I still felt like I was playing the computer, you know? Like I still felt like I was getting a number up that the computer told me about, you know?
Sure.
I didn't feel like deriving self-worth from being better than all, and I'm not saying you did, but being better than all these people I was playing
No,
against
I get it. I'm a garbage person. Okay.
No. In fact, if that was what I was saying, then you should have great self-worth because you did compete. You are much better at these things.
No, never.
Anyways.
It has never been about that. That's never been the point.
So I come into PlayerUnknown's Battleground PUBG GB, and I'm confronted with the way I play games that I chase the win state, right? Like and Tony Hawk is the game that keeps coming to mind with stuff like this. Like, and I've talked about it before on the show. Maybe that's why I'll make it easy. But there have been times where I'll just sit there and I'll get in that loop until I get the win state, until I get the combo, until I get the goal. And I will, like, was it Project 8, I think was the Tony Hawk, the last one I did.
The awful
But I came
one?
back to it and I kind of, it's been great. But I would you get into a trance, right? Where you couldn't fall asleep if you wanted to, unless you play it for so long that you kind of collapse on the floor after you've done or given up or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I wasn't this bad with PUBG, but I saw it happening. Like I saw myself, again, couldn't fall asleep if I wanted to. Like, and this is while I've been feeling sick, you know? Like it's midnight and I feel horrible. Like 2 minutes previous, I'm like, I gotta go to sleep or I'm gonna like I can't even walk anymore. Like and I'll start playing PUBG and it's like none of it exists.
Right. Well,
you know?
because and PUBG is great. I mean, Battle Royale, I think that genre is kind of great for this anyways, because it's a quote unquote quick thing. You never assume.
Oh man.
At
it's
least
so great.
in my eyes, I never assume I'm going to make it to the end. So it's not going to be a 20-minute, 30-minute match. It's going to be a 5-minute match where I'm
drop
dead.
in, drop out. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. And I just want to go and I wanted to shoot somebody.
It is really good for that. But I saw it coming, right? Like I can't 2 a.m. while I'm sick,
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
about to start another game, I realize I can't play this game that way. Like I can't invest in it that way. The win state can't be everything here. I mean, yeah, it's nice. It'll probably be great if it ever happens, but I can't chase that. I realized I needed to learn to, and this is just going to sound dumb. I've thought of 10 different ways to say it.
Nope. I hope it's
take pleasure in the journey, right? Like have fun with the trip, not the win. And I'm not going to say that a switch flipped or a light clicked or a
no, but
something.
There's a slight bit more illumination to maybe something, to some of the things I've said to you about why, like
that's what I'm saying. It's crazy how much what you've said is totally what kind of I was going to mention as well, because yeah, that's a hole, man. That's a spiral. Like it is. I don't want to go there, let alone come back from there, like, so, I mean, and like, and the thing, like the funny thing is it's like, again, Battle Royale is Fortnite's just the easiest one because it's the one I've played the most at this point. It's logically, if I play the game long enough, the chances probably increase that I will eventually get that single win that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm.
The problem becomes like you talked about. I do want that win, but it's not even just about getting the win. I want to be good at that game. It doesn't mean I have to win every game. It doesn't mean I have to win more than once. It doesn't even mean I really have to win. I just want to be good at it for myself. Like there is a point in these games where I'm like, that's where I want to reach. That's my goal. And logically change the goal. Give yourself a better increment, make it a different increment. Well, it doesn't work that way. And I don't know a lot of people that can just go, oh, I can't achieve that goal, so I'm going to do this. even though it's the same goal, you're just decreasing. Like how it doesn't always work.
And that's why I'm
way.
saying a switch just didn't flip. You know, like I'm not suddenly the guy that can, doesn't care about that anymore. Because to a certain extent, yeah, you say, what's the point? I mean, the deeper version of that is maybe why, like, you're still playing towards the goal. Like if you're going to play that goal without ultimately caring what happens, then you're not even trying to kill people. Like you're still there to do a thing.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, I guess the question is, does that world exist? Is there a world where, you play a game and winning doesn't matter, or winning
papers, please,
in that way doesn't matter? Wow. That's
Rocket League. Wait, no.
Do we do this on purpose?
That matters.
How is this all coming together so well?
Know. So I don't know.
Or falling apart spectacularly.
Mentally, physically, it's great. I mean, you're already witnessing our the erosion of ourselves.
Oral disintegration. Oral erosion. That's pretty
oral
good.
Erosion. That's our
Just
band
to play
name.
bass for oral
erosion. That's Oral Erosion, our Midnight Oil cover band.
Okay, wait. End game here. Are you saying we'll see what happens? This is what's been happening to me, or are you saying I don't want to play games? Don't plan on me playing games for, at least a couple more months. Or are you just saying, don't call me, I'll call you? What do you? Well, I mean, hopefully not literally, but
yeah, no,
figuratively.
We will. No, I've never called you, and I never will. we don't contact each other that way. It's a very, very textual situation.
What's the
I don't know what I'm
here?
saying. I don't know.
Right.
It's like I said, it's not like this is planned. I'm not. It's not like I look at. It's not like
as long as we're not planning anything. That's all.
No, I mean, I'm not. It's not that I don't want to play games. Like there's the desire is not. I don't know how to explain it.
You need
man.
to
it's
not
like,
play. No, that's fine. We talked about it. We're good. And there's nothing like this is fine. This is cool. Like, and I will support you in your. Do it.
There is another part of this, and it, like this feeds into my stupid mental problems that are like. I realize again, illogical. This is all illogical. I know that, but it doesn't change the fact that like there are things where, and again, I'm sticking with Battle Royale because that's the game for me. That's the game that's like I don't know. I love.
It's emblematic. No,
it is. And I love it.
There's a reason.
And I don't know why that's the game. I don't know how. I don't get it. But it's like one of the other things is. I'll even sit there and I'll watch, like I see people playing the game. I'll see clips of people playing it and I'm like, I just get bummed out. I just get depressed. I'm like, well, that was cool, man. That was really smart. I can't do that. Again, I know illogical. Like who cares that I can't do that? It doesn't matter. That's one way of doing a thing in this game. It's not the only way to win. There are 100,000 probably other videos out there showing people that I hid in a corner. I used one bullet and I won.
You just got to watch people that suck at the game. Be like, oh man, this is
everybody seems to be good at the game except me.
Okay. Well, so this isn't going to help. But you're not as bad as you think you are. You never have been.
I am awful at everything. No, I am just
again. I know it's not going to help, but
no. But it comes down to that personal thing of like of my own standards, and I don't have high standards for much. Anybody who's ever met me knows that. Look at me, for crying out loud. I can't even dress myself.
0HITPOINTS.com for geez, come on.
Yeah, exactly. What show are you listening to? Hey, cool. So, did you play video games? Because let's talk about those.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You look. I am trying to explain. Like, it's not a lack of interest. It's something else. The desire to play is there. That's not the problem.
No, don't even. Yeah.
So I am interested in your enjoyment. Because I can gain something from it.
Like Battlegrounds, it is exceptionally fun. I had some really good experiences with it. It's not as much of a nightmare as I was led to believe on Xbox. I'm playing on Xbox, obviously.
Really?
No, yeah, it's. I was expecting a real tire fire, and that thing's completely playable. I mean, there's every now and then the connection blip will come up,
sure.
but it's never been like in the heat of the moment. It's never affected my play. I've never died because of it. It looks hideous. Sure.
Well, I mean, but the game on PC looks pretty hideous too. It's not an attractive game.
I'm not sure. Maybe this is coming from people that have played more with the PC. I know this isn't as feature complete as the PC version, which should still be hitting 1.0 today.
Hey, actually, public G's.
So yeah, whatever. But man, it's eminently playable,
and you're having fun with it.
Tons. Like I get it now. I totally see it. That's and this probably isn't fair in a lot of ways, but it feels better than Fortnite to me. I like more that there's no building in it. It seems more pure. I still like Fortnite. I still like Battle Royale, I'm saying, but fact that I don't have to worry about building stuff. Yeah. It's simplified in a way that I really enjoy. Like I was concerned about the attachments and
I told you as soon as I said the first game it'll be a question mark, but then after you've done it once or twice, it's okay. I know what I'm looking at least for the most part. Yeah.
The interface is a little clunky, like getting those things on the actual gun.
Yeah.
If that gets solved, I don't know, but like the minute to minute is there. Like it's totally fun. Really, I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome. We do they have, so I haven't checked it yet. Do they have all their playlists set up so that you can do duos as well?
Solo, duo, squad, yeah, it's all there.
All right. No. Okay,
Did
look.
we just solve everything?
No. Yes. I had specifically chosen to not purchase the game on the Xbox until you'd played it for a little while, because I really was
you
curious.
Never know what I'm gonna do.
If you were going to be into that, like the fact that after we had played Battle Royale, after you'd seen it and we talked about it, you were still like, "I'm doing this. I'm day one. I'm on it." I was pretty impressed. So,
and to be fair, I'll play Battle Royale with you. Still outstanding. Like whenever you want to.
No.
I enjoy that enough.
PUBG is fun. It's a different game. It's a different game.
Yeah.
It's a different game. I'm stoked that you enjoy PUBG. That's very cool.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll go into, or maybe when we do our favorite 5, I'll get deeper into, not to spoil anything, but to kind of individual experiences, and whatnot. But yeah, sure. Totally fun. So I also played Battlefront 2, but why would we? They released some more of the campaign, and I played through.
Did you finish it?
I did.
So now you gotta love that. So last week. Right, we talked about how they pseudo kind of say, "Hey, we know who Rey's parents are. It's the people in the game."
They left with that cliffhanger,
and then in this they answer that. Yeah, they answer who they. Well, they answer.
Well, in the movie they answer that.
No, but in this DLC, I guess they answer who their daughter is. Right, it's not Rey.
No, they answer it by you get to see her now. Like it's. Apparently there were some complaints about the loose ends of the game, which of the campaign. So whatever. So this ties up some of those. Like there was a big baddie, Detective Lance was the guy that got away. So they finally wrap up everything with him. And yeah, there's kind of cool. You get to be Aiden with your daughter, going around shooting stuff, and that probably could have been better. It was never the strongest point of the campaign, anyways. Like it's all passable, like fine, but the best parts of the campaign were when you got to be Lando or Luke or the heroes. So whatever, you get a little bit more. You get to tie a bow on the part of the story that you weren't completely crazy about.
Bummer.
Yay!
I mean, yay!
Yeah, but we might as well just go into other things.
Let's go to the trailer park. I don't understand.
There was a sadness to it this week.
Yeah, I don't know what the trailer park is.
I'll tell you what it is. It's Ghost Recon and The Predator. Ghost Recon Wildlands.
What an idea. What a concept here. It's brilliant. I like it.
I thought so.
It's a great idea. No, I'm not joking. I think it's a really fun idea that they were able to. They were like, hey, let's throw this in there. Predator, hunt the predator.
You having played more of the game, because this is like an event or a thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, good.
It's been so long since I've touched Wildlands. I don't know. I can't speak to this confidently.
Fair enough. But it's a good idea. That's really
it is a good idea, and the trailer
there's a trailer
was cool.
for it.
Yeah,
again,
it was
also very important.
Showing off the Predator going invisible and all that stuff. It's cool. I like the idea. It's fun.
Yes.
If you're playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, I have dibs on being Shane Black.
Man, now I don't even want to play it.
Why would you? Carl
Metal Gear Survive also got a trailer that I didn't watch.
Oh yeah, I watched that. That's okay. That was weird, man. So Metal Gear Survive, they've been talking about that multiplayer forever. Like that's been the thing. And now they're finally releasing the single player content. It is a weird, like base building, base tower defense game. That's
really?
Yeah. So it's got like you go.
So is it like a Fortnite ripoff?
Almost. So you don't build the same way in Fortnite where you're actually building the like the walls and stuff. It doesn't look like that completely. It does look like you can build some walls, but you are building like you go out, you have to roam around, collect items and resources. Then you take them back to your base, and that's how you can build your guns and your bullets, and you build like the actual, like they have like set pieces that are, this is the, a barracks building, and this is a toilet or whatever. So you can put those around and you can build the fort up, and then you get attacked by random creatures. So it is Fortnite essentially. Yes.
I like the idea of building a base full of toilets.
Yeah. Just a big crapper
everywhere. No, like hundreds.
Yeah.
Mother base on the roof.
Mother base crapper.
Mother base. It's just a huge toilet.
Just a big. It's, you know what? This game could be that. So who knows?
If they want it to be interesting, they might. Because this is a surprise. Anyways, just this, because I thought that thing seemed like just such a throwaway, which it might still be, but the fact that there's a single player or pretension to is kind of crazy. Otherwise,
I don't know. It's a weird. Sure.
It is a weird sure. Also, remember the Atari box?
How could I forget? I was getting ready to pre-order it.
Don't make that pre-order. They've delayed them.
Oh, why?
Due to
due to lack of interest? Due to lack of information?
Due to quote. They want to create a platform and ecosystem the Atari community deserves, unquote. I don't know. They've got problems with.
They want to sell this thing for $300, man. I am still, and they still haven't talked about what's packed in with it. If it's got games on it.
I don't know. I hope people do not feel the way I do about this thing, because everything they do seems to be, and maybe with good reason, but it seems to be all just such a Me Too type thing. Like even this delay. Yep. I feel like they're like, oh man, this thing's so complicated. We got to delay it.
Everybody's delaying things.
Who could possibly build this in this amount of time period? But then they're just delaying pre-orders. That seems weird. Anyways, like why just let the people? It's not even a thing. That's like you delay pre-orders. I feel like if you're afraid that you're not going to be able to come through or something, like
I'm guessing that at least part of it is that, and I'm guessing another part of it is, who is pre-ordering an Atari box with no information behind? There's nothing out there.
All they've said is that they want it to run apps and
that it'll be built on Linux.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we know. Cool. I could build a Linux box for less than $300, man.
So weird.
It's really weird. It's even more weird that this was something we talked about here and we didn't put it in the lightning round. Yeah, this is the part of the show. We gotta go fast. We gotta go real fast. This is part of the show where we got headlines that we don't want to spend a lot of time on. You don't want to hear a lot of time spent on them. So we're just gonna give them to you in the fastest way possible with a response equally as quick. This week, Ryan, you are on the clock.
Last Jedi's too long. We're not gonna make the same mistake.
That's right. We're the first Jedi. Ryan, the delegate from Jedi Land, is on the clock for you, ready to score you. Are you ready? You are.
I'm ready. Yes.
Dragon Ball FighterZ's open beta begins January 14th.
Yay, Z.
Destiny 2 has
has it?
Square Enix CEO Yosuke Matsuda says microtransactions, quote, don't fit in console games.
What? Who is this bold visionary? Nay, this prescient magician. Turned into Snagglepuss.
Yeah, why not even?
What say you?
Exit stage left even. Oh, hey, things that
Perfect
happened.
score.
Everything is great. You're number one. Things that happened yesterday. Destiny 2's holiday event, The Dawning, is live, so that should disappoint you in every way possible. Need for Speed Payback was updated with stuff, so check that out. Tomorrow, Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King. Now, I am thrilled about this game because I personally loved Mayim Bialik in that show. I'm hoping Joey's got a bigger part, and I'm really hoping we focus on the relationship between Blossom and Six in Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I will not be streaming this week. I actually am unavailable to stream Thursday. So,
wow.
Don't
even ask is what you're saying, huh?
Are you gonna PUBG it?
I wish. I hope so, man. I try to stream every day. I try to play a game every day. It's been a rough.
Man, you should get depressed.
There's been some work.
Stop being interested in anything.
I'm interested in making money for my family, and it feels bad. Let me tell you.
It is not fun. Yeah. Families or money.
Also, we got through that whole thing without either one of us saying, whoa.
There are micro woes. You can't. If you turn up your volume, you'll hear them. Whoa.
Okay. I don't even do it very well. Like, we should probably bone up on that.
Bone up on your whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
Bone.
Come back next week. We're at 0HITPOINTS.com. You go there and you find us next week, or wherever else you heard us this week. You find us there too. And when you come back next week, we'll be way more Joey.
So Merry Christmas.